Pallas Athene, the strategist asteroid goddess, stations direct in Aquarius, October 4th, 2025. Pallas has been hovering in Aquarius, sketching out the master plan, and now that she's stationing direct, the next move becomes clear. Welcome to Planet Earth. Eliane Nicole here, your astrologer and tarot reader, bringing you the planetary and asteroid goddess ingresses to help you surf the cosmic currents with awareness, grace, and alignment. As promised, I'm going to be delivering more asteroid goddess content here on my YouTube. I use the asteroid goddesses in my practice, and I find that they add a lot of nuanced insights as well as punctuation to what's happening with the planets. Their energy is more of the nature of the sextile aspect. It's subtle. The more self-aware you are, the more likely you are to tune in. Or if they're placed strongly in your natal chart, like an aspect to one of your personal planets or in one of your angular houses. Before we dive in, I'd love your support in helping me grow this community. Please make sure to subscribe, hit the notification bell, and drop a like or a comment. Let me know where Pallas is in your chart. It really helps me in the algorithm, and it allows me to continue giving these free astrological offerings. I'm also aiming for a personal milestone to reach 1,000 subscribers by my birthday, October 8th, just a couple of days away. I know it's a tall order, but I believe in miracles. So if you would like to give me a birthday gift, please share this channel with a friend who loves astrology and tarot. Every subscriber truly makes a difference. And now, without further ado, here is today's report on Pallas Athene stationing direct in Aquarius. So on October 4th, she stations. She's been in Aquarius since February 16th, 2025. She turned retrograde on June 9th, 2025, and she won't leave Aquarius until January 24th, 2026, when she moves into Pisces. That's almost a full year in Aquarius. This is unusually long for Pallas, and that alone tells us something very important. This is no ordinary strategic season. I call Pallas Athene the Queen's Gambit asteroid. She represents wisdom, pattern recognition, strategy, problem solving, and creative intelligence. Who is Pallas Athene? For those of you who are new to the asteroid goddesses, she's the daughter of Zeus, born fully armored from his head. She's the goddess of wisdom, creative intelligence, and strategy. In astrology, she shows us in our chart how we solve problems, how we use patterns to create solutions, and where we apply strategy in our lives. When she's strong in your natal chart, you'll feel her transits very personally. Collectively, her movements show us where strategy is unfolding on the world stage. Aquarius is the sign of the higher mind, invention, and collective progress. It's where ideas for the future get mapped. So Pallas Athene spending nearly a year in Aquarius is like she's been drafting the blueprint for the ideal future, the very future that Pluto and Aquarius will be shaping over the next, or reshaping over the next 20 years. We're talking technological and scientific revolutions, AI, drones, robots, space travel, extraterrestrial contact, new forms of community and social systems, new media, new business models, new ways of loving and relating. Culture moving from rigid hierarchies to more collective, open-minded systems. But every chessboard features opponents that bring up the shadow. Aquarius can be stubborn, overly intellectual, rigid in ideology, cold and detached, or worshiping technology without soul. These oppositional forces can come from within or from the outer world. Aquarians will feel this the strongest. Pallas is strategizing on your identity, your sense of self, your role in the collective. It's like the cosmic chessboard is asking Aquarians to think 10 moves ahead and how they show up in the world and lead the charge into the future. For Leo, you are across the board from Aquarius. For you, this shows up in oppositional forces and partnerships and relationships. Pallas is strategizing how you give and receive in one-to-one dynamics, calling you to balance self-expression with collaboration. Taurus and Scorpio are in the hot seat because Pallas Athene will square their placements and challenge their strategy. It will challenge their fixed ways and their stubbornness and their ability to adjust to patterns around career, home, and deep personal transformation. It's friction that forces growth. The chessboard doesn't let you stay comfortable. For Gemini and Libra, you're supported here. Pallas trines your placements. So the air signs can expect strategic insights to flow more easily, especially in areas of learning, relationships, and creativity. It's like the game opens up for you and you see more opportunities. And of course, these are just the broad strokes. For the sign-by-sign detailed play-by-play of where Pallas is strategizing in your chart and exactly where she's blueprinting your life's future plan, become a subscriber to my new Substack. You'll find the link in the description box below. And now for a sneak peek at Pallas's chess game, October 4th through January 24th, 2026. Think of this period as a grand chess match. Pallas Athene has taken her position on the board, and every aspect she makes between now and January 2024, 2026 is another move in your life's strategy. The goal, to maneuver us individually and collectively closer to that Aquarian ideal of progress, community, and humanitarian innovation. But the world is a messy opponent, and not every piece on the board plays nicely. So here are the aspects. Pallas's strategic moves. Make sure you have something to jot down these dates. October 4th, Pallas stations direct in Aquarius. The moment the strategist asteroid stations, her influence is at peak intensity. This is like the queen suddenly freezing the board, then re-emerging with her next decisive move. Expect flashes of clarity, moments of insight where patterns become visible, or sudden awareness of how the pieces of your life fit together. Collectively, watch for breakthroughs in science, tech, or social movements, or equally a pause where we are forced to reckon with how strategy has or hasn't been working so far. October 14th, she sextiles Ceres retrograde in Aries. This is the first opportunity for a supportive move combining strategy with nurturing. Possible insights on how we eat affects how we think, and an opportunity to make better nutrition choices. This also is about how we provide, how we fight for our children and our families. This is setting up the pawns at the beginning of the game. On October 19th, Pallas Athene in Aquarius trines Venus, the goddess of love and beauty, who is happily at home in Libra at this time. This marks a strong, elegant move. Strategy meets beauty, love, and harmony. Like a queen sliding across the board, this is grace meeting intellect. On October 27th, Pallas sextiles Juno, the wife asteroid goddess in Sagittarius. Partnerships are key here. This is an opportunity to form alliances. This is where she calls in the rooks and the bishops, forging bonds that will matter later. On October 31st, Pallas will square the Scorpio sun. Here comes the clash, Halloween no less. Strategy meets raw power. Conflicts involving emotion versus intellect, privacy versus surveillance, theory versus practice. This is tension on the board. Secrets revealed, power plays challenged. This can mark a revenge move played on a solar figure that increases conflict on the world stage. On November 15th, Pallas squares Venus, who will now be in Scorpio. This reflects another sharp conflict: desire, intimacy, and money tested by strategy or manipulation. This signals a dangerous exchange of pieces. Passion can cloud judgment. On November 21st, Pallas sextiles Mars in Sagittarius. This marks an opportunity for a bold, offensive move. Strategy powers up with action, adventure, forward drive. Good timing for knights to leap into battle. On December 7th, Pallas sextiles the Sun, who will now be in Sagittarius. This suggests the opportunity for a visionary move. It's a sextile, so it's an opportunity you have to co-create, but strategy can align with big picture purpose and truth at this time. This can present a flash of illumination about where this game is really going. On December 14th, Pallas sextiles Venus, who will now also be in Sagittarius. This is an opportunity for another harmonious move. Love, money, relationships, values, syncing with the bigger strategic plan. The board looks promising. On December 26th, Pallas sextiles Mercury, also in Sagittarius now. Great timing for ideas, words, and communication to become part of the strategy. The chess game becomes about messaging, storytelling, and spreading the blueprint. On January 13th, Pallas will sextile Chiron, the wounded healer, in Aries. Here is an opportunity for a healing move. Wounds meet strategy. Sometimes our deepest wounds can also be our greatest assets. The Queen protects the weaker pawns, showing how our pain can guide the future. On January 17th, Pallas squares Uranus, the disruptor, retrograde, now back in Taurus. This marks a sudden disruption. The opponent flips the board. This is rebellion, revolution, unexpected moves that test our strategy to its core. On January 24th, Pallas moves into Pisces, and here the chess game changes completely. It's like a new board. She leaves the rational strategy of Aquarius and enters the mystical oceans of Pisces. That will be another story for another video. In summary, between now and January 24th, 2026, we're all in Pallas Athene's chess game. On the personal level, watch where you're being asked to think more strategically, to see patterns, to step back from emotions, and play the long game. On the collective level, remember we are in the early years of Pluto in Aquarius, who is completely transforming the world on every level. You know, humanity is transforming at the deepest level. Pallas in Aquarius is showing us the bird's eye view of the blueprint, move by move. To book a reading with me to see where Pallas is moving in your chart, specifically go to eliannicole.com. I read on Zoom, so I can read for people anywhere in the world. The link will be in the description below. In conclusion, life is lifing, the world is worlding. Stay heavily meditated, my friends.